Pashaparo, YNet7, thank you for tuning. The replay. Big board pep for my peeps. Let's get it. Okay, we on officially the 7th day of 2021. A lot of price action. Everything's jumping right now for all kinds of different reasons. So you can get in where you fit in pretty much with anything and do you. So let's take a look at some things that I revisited today. And we'll start with RGLS. Alright. RGLS closed at $1.38 today. It was up 15% on the day. It's looking for that footing. If we can get it above 140, that'll be great. So I can take root there. It's got good confidence in its current position right now. So once we get it over 140, elevator to 150, and then it could be easily on its way to 170 tomorrow. It has the potential. With the recent positive surges in the market and a big conference next week, any good news could help this jump even higher. And then, I know to some it's at 138 or 140 now. To say 150, that's 10 cents. It may not sound like a lot, but at $1.38, if you have 1,000 shares, you're at like $1,400, and 10 cents is $100 for you. You see what I'm saying? So if it goes to 70, that's like a 30-cent move. So that'd be $300 in your pocket for the day. If you're playing a big board pep, you're right in the middle of any acceptable goal for the day. If it goes 30 cents alone by itself. So if it has a breakout day, or the conference starts on the 11th, if it gets a lot of attention and it shoots up, you could be looking at a bingo all over again. Let's take a look at RGLS. So I'm into the DNA. I'm into the you gotta get stuff. And if you ever moved anything in your life, you get it and you break it down and you put it back together and then you move it out. You know what I'm saying? So what's more broken down than the micro RNA? You know what I'm saying? So what this has got going on is, like it says here, together, the Regulus team is focused on the discovery and development of micro RNA therapeutics. You know this type of stuff, DNA stuff is the future. I'm into that. I'm researching all kinds of stuff in here. Here's one of the ones I've been watching for a while. Okay. So it's got a bunch of stuff going on where they basically tell you how down here they're correcting the imbalance of gene expression and associated cellular pathways to treat a broad range of human disease. Now, I like this one because remember when we was talking bingo, they could do like one test and find a whole bunch of different stuff, right? So what that does is it makes them value added to a lot of other revenue streams and or treatments, a lot more than just one. You know what I mean? So if you got if their portfolio is diversified, that means they have multiple streams of income coming in, multiple ways of making money off the same technology. You see what I'm saying? And that's kind of similar to bingo, although of course it's a totally different technique and everything. So what they're talking about is microRNAs are members of a large class of non-coding RNAs, right? Of approximately 22 nucleotides in length, okay? That regulate most genes in the genome. A single microRNA can target and regulate up to hundreds of genes. Each of which is evolved in biological networks or pathways, right? So basically, um, we could take a look. We could take a look at this real quick. Hold on. Let me get y'all. All right, and let's check this out here.
Together, we're a team of great people meeting a greater purpose.
Together, we believe in the transformational science of microRNA regulation. A single microRNA can target and regulate hundreds of genes involved in biological pathways. Together, we are achieving the delivery of the right microRNA therapeutics to the right pathways to cure disease. Our clinical candidates have the potential to become powerful new medicines in the treatment of multiple human diseases.
Multiple.
With our broad patent portfolio, we have the foundation to follow the biology, build on the data, and sharpen our understanding of this unique and powerful microRNA science. Here, there are no limits to learn together, to grow together, and to achieve great advances in life science. We believe that's why we achieve.
So we believe that's why we achieve. Ain't that the truth? You see what I'm saying? So I kind of like that. Now, listen to what they were saying about the patents, right? I'm going to get into all that for you real quick. Hold on. We're going to do a brief one. We're going to be doing a high-level overview real quick. Let's see here. Now, under programs, where was it at? It was under programs, pipeline, was it? All right, cool. This is one thing I want to show you too here. So all these drug big pharma companies, whatever, they all had this. These things are important, right? Preclinicals, phase 1, phase 2, phase 3. They're kind of like nodal points, to the rollout to get the money. All right. So you see, they got this one here, in basically in phase 1 status, ready to go to phase 2, and they got this one here that's in phase 2, ready to go to phase 3 at some point in the near future. Now, what's key is, for me, what I like to see is when they crossed into these different phases, right? They make these announcements, like people that haven't been paying them no attention, all of a sudden want to buy in, for at least, and it might be temporary, like for a little while, just while the news is popping, they'll jump in. So you got this one get ready to go into phase 3 at some point near future. It might be tomorrow. It might be announced next week at the meeting. It might be a year and a half from now. But they're ready to go into phase 3. This one down here is ready to go into phase 2. And then you got a bunch of stuff ready to enter into phase 1. And we'll see that here, right? So all of this stuff is popping. Now, this one right here, they have a partner, Sanofi Genzyme. Now these two are dealing with the kidneys. That's the target organ. This stuff down here is dealing with the liver. And liver and kidneys, by the time you're protecting them, so you don't gotta take them. I mean, you can replace the kidneys, but the liver is like the main battery for the body. Like, this is big money medical stuff here. And aside from the money generated, or the currency generated, and the technology generated, this is dealing with people's lives here. So it's really priceless, which is why I guess the hospitals charge so much. But this partner here, right, Sanofi Genzyme, it looks like they're a pretty good partner to have. I did a quick Google search on them, and this is what pops up. They are a French multinational pharmaceutical company headquartered in Paris, France. As of 2013, the world's 5th largest by prescription sales, right? And I didn't take the time to see where they're at 7 years later, because if they were 5th in 2013, they're probably still top 10 now if there is even 10 of them out there doing big stuff like that. But they're pretty big. And right here, they have revenue in 2019 of 36.12 billion, and that's just probably gross, of course. So I didn't look up the net. But if you're doing 36 billion in a year, you're probably well off. Their stock price is at, it's fluctuating here, as you can see, around $47, $48. So they're in a good position. So that tells me that RGLS, even though their stock price is at $1.38 right now, they are partnered with the right people to bring this to fruition. You know what I'm saying? So if you had to pick, there's probably not too many better than someone that's the 5th largest in prescription sales to help you get your drugs to the market. You know what I mean? So at any given moment, this could pop, and you know me, I've been in, I've been out, I've been waiting for it to move. Because let's look back at the stock. It's been down here. You see, if I showed you the whole thing, we could go back. But as early or as recent as the beginning of December, it was down at 80 cent, 60, 60 cent. It was another one of those 50-cent poppers I've been watching. You know what I'm saying? And I've made some couple dollars here, couple dollars there. You see, there's a lot of mountains and valleys, so you know how we do here at Big Four Pep with my peeps. So now, though, I think we could be entering a period where there could be a significant jump. I could be wrong, but that's what I'm looking at. The conference is next week. All it's going to take is one announcement. There's over 350 companies presenting. I think it's a whole week-long conference, virtual, so everybody can investors, all kinds of people, institutions, everybody's going to be watching. So it's going to be a lot of attention and a lot of contrasting and complementing data, beliefs, and sciences, all under one hub. So that's going to be a pretty powerful next week. It could generate a spark. There may be some build-up with all the hype right now in the market to push this up some, especially tomorrow, if not in the coming days next week. Measure your own risk, see how much you want to get in, see how long you want to stay. Long term, this is definitely something to watch. We just want to see when the ticking time bomb goes off. And speaking of another explosion, Triple D, DDD. Look, you remember this. Remember the company that we were talking about in mid-December? Actually, if you want to go back to the 17th and check out that video, the one that had the program where they brought the kids down and they're in South Carolina, right? So they, remember, here go to the little mark here where we circled that down spike, and we got in, we rode that up. Yeah. So we got some, they were kind of, up and down, a little flat, a little tight. And then the announcement today was that 3D Systems complete sale of Cimatron and Gibbs Cam businesses provides preliminary financial results for Q4. And this stock basically doubled. It was at like $11 and some change. It was actually, when I pulled the card from the last, like when I presented on it in mid-December, it actually like closed yesterday where it closed like the day I did the card in December. Like that's how flat it's been, up and down a little bit, but that's how flat it's been. And it went up to a peak of, what did it peak at? It was up to like 25.36. So this P.E.P closed at 22.96 today. It was up over 100% for the day. It's down 72 cents in the after hours, down to 22.24. Now tomorrow, this would be still one to watch. I'm not saying jump up early and throw your money in, but this will still be one to watch because it may want to go back and test the 25.36. And if it climbs above it, the next stops could be 29.17 to 35.35. The big catalyst in the news is what helped hype this stock up. So Definitely, like we was talking about yesterday and earlier, go back and pay attention to what you were looking for because you probably had good feelings about them. We caught, we didn't catch the full run, but we caught a pretty significant climb with this today, and that's all you need. So it went up. I think total was like up $11 at close, but it was like another $3-4 above that at the peak. So it moved $14 a day, and if you had a couple hundred shares, a thousand, that's up to you. So $14 move any day. If you're in it, take advantage of it. That's great. So Triple D, looking at them tomorrow. See if they want to retest, because if it wants to retest, that means if it's at 22.24 right now, granted we're going to probably have some motion tomorrow in the pre-market, whether that's up or down. Let's see what happens. We'll wait and see what the angle is and decide how we're going to play from that. But if it wants to go back and test the 25.36, I mean, you can see that that's a $3 jump right there for you from the rip. So if it starts to move up, you may want to, at your own risk level, throw a little coin at it, maybe build a pot up as it goes up with some stop losses in place just in case it falls out the sky, and you could capture easy $3 per share right there after the early AM turbulence. Maybe the early AM turbulence is pushing it up instead of down and chaotic, but we'll see how it plays out. But watch this one because it could retest, and if it wants to continue to climb a little bit more, like another day's P.E.P, it could easily see $35 tomorrow, which would be another 100% day, which is not impossible as we've seen so far this year. But I'm thinking a good $3 to I guess that's about $6-7. A good $3 to $6-7 is highly possible, and that would make more sense because if it jumps up, I'm not even gonna say that would make more sense because things have just been going crazy, right? And that crazy in a good way. So we're gonna get all that craze. So it went up 100% a day, and if it's slowing down in P.E.P, like it would, to have a 50% day tomorrow would kind of make sense if it's slowing down in P.E.P before it settles out. So 100% a day, 75, 50 tomorrow, and then maybe it starts to curve and so that might make sense. So even if that's the case, you're looking at $3 to $6 per share there before any collapse potentially, or it could just fall out the sky first thing in the AM. But watch it. Let's see what direction it goes. Great opportunity. Congratulations to everybody that caught either of these two so far today. Now the next one today is Torch, TRCH. This is another one been really interested in since it's been in the $0.50 range, and it's growing. Now, if you look at this, the P.E.P closed at 116. It was up 34 cents today, or 42 cents. So basically, it was almost a double up of the money up. You know what I mean? So it's down to 105 after hours, which I like. I like because it gives you an opportunity to buy in. If depending on what the pre-market do, you could get in a little cheaper because it hasn't really gone below this significance line here. It's kind of still hovering at that line. So if it maintains that footing, that would be a good site. And if we could keep it in the green zone there, right? And if it keeps its P.E.P and energy, because basically it's trending to see, if it keeps this angle and trajectory, it's trending to see $1.50 before close tomorrow, at some point. So that's if everything maintains the same trajectory, which is still in the bubble, even where it's at now. That's a good sign. Now, the thing that's going for this is energy's a big ticket right now. You know what I'm saying? Energy's a big ticket. So look for it to test. Look for the test of the 121 to 137, and then 150 could be next. I think this move, I know people are like, oh, the president seating and all that stuff. That may have something to do with the overall tons of money coming to circulation or in the market. That may be true. However, I think this play has something more to do with the Middle East reduction in production promise. So And if you're wondering what I'm talking about, we can take a look at that real quick. So what happened? It was announced like Monday or something, right? That Saudi Arabia will cut its oil production, allowing Russia's to grow, right? Which is an additional statement. But oil prices rose. You heard the oil prices was going up, right? And so this is part of why. This is, if not the reason why, this is a big part of why. So oil prices rose to levels not seen since February. Two major oil producers have been moving in lockstep since April. Agreement to cut output, right? So what happened was OPEC, Russia and other oil major producers reached an unusual agreement on production quotas Tuesday. It was Tuesday, excuse me. So 2 days ago. So quotas on Tuesday, with Saudi Arabia committing to reducing its oil production by 1 million barrels a day, and Russia and Kazakhstan winning relatively modest production increases. But here's the key. The effect will be an overall reduction in oil production. The news pushes oil prices up more than 4%, reaching levels not seen since February. You know, so Brent crude rose past 53 a barrel. West Texas Intermediate exceeded $50 as traders welcomed the Saudi willingness to give up some barrels in an effort to stabilize the market. Now, that was because oil was like an all-time low or some shit, right? But the question you got to ask yourself when it comes to this type of move here is the quality of the oil. There's a reason why that oil in that area is so sought after by the world. There's a reason why Venezuela isn't the biggest oil producer in the world, or exporter in the world. There's a reason why, monetarily wise. You know what I mean? So there's quality of production. So what happens is, one, is Russian and Kazakhstan oil as cheap to refine or more expensive? Because if they get more oil, well, it's not more oil, it's less oil overall. But then if they get less oil and it's more expensive to refine, then prices go up on the downstream. So this is a very interesting play, but I think going back to Torch, this could have something to do with why we see this jumping like this, because they're actually into oil and natural gas and stuff like that out in the middle plains of Texas. Okay? And they got some really good spots out there, and they just need to get in there and do the work, and they can find some stuff. And then Texas could be producing, maybe make up for the difference by itself. I don't know. But let's see if Torch can catch fire tomorrow. Let's see if DDD can keep doing the damn thing. And, you know, check out RGLS at your own risk. This is for your entertainment purposes only. I'm Pasha Pyro. It's Y97. Big boy P.E.P for my peeps. Thank you for tuning the replay.